Hiya, Laurie here. Welcome back. I hope you're all well and looking forward to today's video where I will be showing you me setting up my April spread for my bullet journal. This is now my second month for my bullet journal and I have been using it throughout March and I'm really loving it. So hopefully that will continue throughout April. But for my April theme, I have chosen Easter to be the main theme for throughout the month of April. So I'm basically just going straight in and outlining the sketch that I have done. I'm not the best drawer. I don't draw that often, but I did try my best to make this look pretty. So I've drawn what I would believe to be the front of the tomb of Jesus, where Jesus was laid to rest, and obviously Easter is the celebration of him being resurrected and coming back from the dead. So I've drawn the stone that has been rolled away and the opening to the cave or tomb basically, and I'm just drawing the steps as well that's kind of leading up to the doorway. And then I've got a little bunny kind of peeking out from behind the stone just to add a little whimsy to it. And I've got April written up in the corner and sort of flourishing calligraphy, 3D writing almost. So I'm just using my fine liners to go around the pre-sketched lines. And then I also have a Bible verse written in the corner, which is from Matthew 28 verse 5. He is not here, for he is risen. He is risen from the dead. And obviously there's a little bit in between that, but I've just kind of summarised it down to the part that I wanted on the front of the page. And then I'm just going around the outline of the April header. And I really love how this turned out. I really love how this spread turned out. Obviously I go in and I do colour it in, and I'm actually using these alcohol based markers, and I managed to find these on Amazon and they were only $18.99, so I will link them below, as I think there's 120 included, and they are really nice pens. So what I've actually done is I've taken 2 sheets of paper and folded them up and popped them on either side underneath each side of the page, so that any bleed through is going to be caught by those pages, and then I'm actually just going to glue them to the next page. So I'm just taking like a tape roller and I will glue those, and that way you won't see any like shadowing or bleed through. And this is the only page that I'm planning to use the alcohol markers for that reason. So I'm just using different shades of grey to go in over the stones and over the boulder, and then also going between the stones with some brown to add it like as mud essentially. And then I'm also adding some green kind of peeking out the top of the stones like grass. And then of course I'm just colouring this grassy area in green as well. And the bottom of the stones I'm adding some green and a little bit of brown as well, so that there's grass growing there too, and then a little bit of mud just kind of peeking out between the stones and the grass. And then I'm just taking a slightly darker colour of green and I'm going over the little tufts that I've penciled in throughout the grass. And then I'm just rubbing out my pencil lines on the stone that I added to kind of give it that more circular 3D look. And then I'm going in with my grey pen and I'm just adding that, and I will go back in with a darker grey later on and add those lines back in. But I'm just taking a selection of coloured pens. I'm kind of sticking to green, pink, blue and yellow. I add a little bit of purple in here and there as well, but those are the 4 main colours, and obviously brown for my bunny. And I'm using that to kind of colour in the different letters of the month. So like I said, I'm going pink, green, blue, yellow, and then I'm adding a little bit of purple to the last letter as well. But the main 4 colours are pink, blue, green and yellow. And I'm adding yellow to the inside of the cave as anytime I've seen it in like any kind of illustration, it's always shining on the inside of the tomb. So I wanted to kind of add that effect with the yellow, and I've obviously highlighted the verse, the Bible verse as well. So I had written glue on these sheets of paper, so I was just rubbing that out so it didn't kind of show through. And like I said, I was just taking a tape roller and I'm just sticking those down, and that's just going to hide any shadowing or bleeding so that you can't see it. And now I'm just going into the next page, which is my calendar page for my month at a glance. And again, I've done a pencil sketch of all of these, and I'm just going around and outlining it again with my pen, which is called a Fusky, I think it's called, black gel pen. And then I'm taking my fine liners again, and I've done a little sort of bunny drawing at the bottom of two bunnies facing away, so you only see their backs. And then I've also got a bunch of Easter eggs just kind of sitting beside them, almost like they're preparing to go on little adventures to hide their eggs. And then up top, I accidentally grabbed one of the alcohol markers and then remembered, nope, I'm not meant to be using those. So I switched it to my Tombow pens, and I'm just outlining the month April, and then I'm using the tip of the L to connect it to a vine, and then I'm drawing some daffodils along it with some leaves. Daffodils are my favourite flowers, and I love seeing them prop up over Easter, and it just reminds me of new life and the promise that God made for us and the sacrifice that he made for us. And I just love what they represent, or at least what they represent to me. So I'm drawing just a large vine the span of the page, and adding daffodils kind of here and there. And then again, of course, I add another Bible verse, which is from Luke chapter 24, verses 2 to 3, which says, "They found the stone rolled away from the tomb, but when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus." And again, I just wanted to pop that down the bottom. I'm trying to kind of pop a verse throughout the entire month, different verses, sorry, throughout the entire month, and just different verses relating to Easter, essentially. And of course, the most important thing about Easter is to remember that the Lord gave his life and returned from the dead for us. And I just love that message, and I think it's definitely something worth remembering at this time. And so I wanted to definitely put it throughout my journal. So I'm just going in and colouring in all my little doodles. And I'm a little bit annoyed because these did bleed through, which I wasn't expecting. So I'm definitely going to have to find another pen or something to use that doesn't bleed through. But anyway, on to the next page, which is going to be my budgeting for the month. So I did do this last year, and it was too small. I did go back here and add the monthly days of the week because I forgot to do that, and I've just got these stickers that I got from AliExpress, and I've just used those as the weekly headers. But anyway, moving back to my budgeting for the month. I did this last month and I made it too small, so I decided to make it much bigger over a 3-page spread, and I'm sort of going to use the middle page almost like a Dutch door, where I'm going to kind of fold it in certain ways so that I can see the header anytime that I'm using it. So I'm now going to take my pen and just add a little bit of a line every other line, just to help me kind of see what I'm doing, and break the page up a little bit more. I don't really have any room for decoration on this page, so this is essentially it. So I wanted to add something, and I really love the faded effect that this pen gives. So yeah, this is where I'll be putting my monthly bills and ingoings and outgoings. And I'm also going to have a shop tracker, essentially. So for any kind of sales that I've made throughout the month. Again, I did this last month, and again I made it too small, so I'm hoping that this will be enough enough space this month. So I'm going in and just rubbing out all those pencil lines, and then I'm adding a new page to this month's spread, and this is going to be my budget breakdown page, which I didn't add to my previous month, but I want to basically keep a track of what I'm spending each year, and so I thought doing a breakdown of all the different things that my money is going towards will definitely help me do that. So in the bottom of the page, I'm drawing a little bunny in a basket, and I also drew some eggs at the bottom of it and some daffodils to the side of it. So I'm just going over with my fine liner and drawing over all those pencil lines. And then again, I will take my dual tip pens, and colour those in. And then I will go back up to the top and add spaces for me to put headers. I'm not obviously going to write them out at the moment, but I will have things like daily shopping, monthly shopping, bills, shop stock, debts, things like that. And I calculate throughout the entire month how much I put towards those and put them in these little spaces. And that will then get transferred into a yearly budgeting tracker. And that way I can kind of keep an eye on where my money's going. But I'm also going to be putting a Bible verse on this page as well, and it is from Revelations chapter 1 verses 17 to 18, and it says, "Do not be afraid, I am the first and the last. I am he who lives and he who was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And I have the keys of Hades and of death." And I really love that Bible verse, and obviously the meaning behind it. And yeah, it's just again another verse that I want to remember throughout this month. So again, like I said, I'm going in and rubbing out all my pencil lines, and I'm going in and adding some decoration to the eggs. This was annoying to come up with different decorations for the eggs, because no matter where I looked, all eggs were kind of decorated the same. So I ended up with a lot of the same decorations on my eggs, but oh well. I just kind of tried to use different colours to make them look a little bit different. But now I'm just going in and drawing my daffodils in the grass, and now I'm going in and colouring them in. And again, like I said, this did bleed through quite a lot onto the next page, which I wasn't too happy about. So if you know of any pens that don't bleed through, I would love to know of them. This is only 100 GSM paper, so it may obviously just be that pens are going to bleed through no matter what, in which case I might start using pencils. But yeah, I really love how this spread turned out. I just wish it didn't bleed through into the next one, but I guess it doesn't actually look too bad on the next page. But I really like how this page turned out, and my little bunny in his basket, I think he's very cute, and hope you guys like it too. Moving on to the next page, where my content planner and monthly to-do list rest. So on the left hand side, I'm going to be putting my content planner, which is 2 separate boxes, one for YouTube and one I will kind of cut in half for Instagram and TikTok. And I'm just putting the headers in with my fine liner, and then I'm going to go back and go over my pencil lines with different coloured pens. So here I'm using the green colour, and then I'm going to use the pink for the bottom box. And then on the other side I have my monthly to-do list, and this will be broken down to certain days throughout the month, so that I can get all my tasks completed. And then the bottom left hand corner of the right page, I also do a little doodle of a sleeping bunny, which is exhausted from having hidden all its eggs, and it's snoozing out on a little comfy cushion. And I really love how cute this little bunny looks, sleeping away on his cushion. And I also drew in a couple of eggs behind him, and then I've just got my box kind of tucked around him, and I do this one in yellow. And then I'm just going in and adding the colour to my little bunny, which I decided to colour a little bit lighter this time. And I really love how he turned out in his little pink cushion. I also left the eggs at the back in block colours, just so they don't kind of take away from the little bunny as the focal point of the page. Then moving on to the next page, which is my restock into film page, which I'm just drawing 2 big boxes for. And this is where I will add like any items that can get sold out in my shop and I need to restock, and any videos that I need to film throughout the month. And then on the next page, it is my habit tracker, and I'm drawing a few loaves of bread down in the left hand corner of the page, along with 2 goblets. And this is also accompanied by another Bible verse, which is from Luke chapter 24, verses 30 to 31, that says, "Now it came to pass, as he sat at the table with them, that he took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they knew him." And then with a wink, he disappeared. Or at least I think so anyway. But yeah, it's one of my favourite stories from the Bible regarding Easter, of how Jesus basically appeared to 2 wanderers, and they didn't know who he was until he broke bread with them. But this is my finished monthly setup for April, and I really love how it turned out. And this is me kind of showing you how I'm going to use my budget planner, how I'm going to fold it so that I can always see the headers. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and got some inspiration for your own bullet journals. I'd love to know what you think below, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you all again soon. Take care and God bless. Bye.